Welcome, finance enthusiasts and aspiring investors. In this success story titled Warren Buffett Investing Wisdom, you will explore the legendary insights of Warren Buffett as he navigates the financial world with strategic acumen. With themes of wisdom, perseverance, and humility, this story promises to be both inspirational and informative. As you listen, any complex vocabulary will be briefly explained in line to enhance understanding. Notable grammar choices will also be highlighted with concise notes to enrich your listening experience. Settle in and enjoy as we delve into the world of investing through the lens of Buffett's humble roots and strategic thinking. Warren strolled leisurely through the bustling streets of Omaha, his footsteps echoing the rhythm of the city. The crisp autumn air wrapped around him like an old friend, invigorating his senses and stirring a gentle nostalgia. He paused for a moment, glancing at the familiar facades of buildings that had witnessed his earliest investments. Each brick and stone seemed to whisper tales of past ventures, some successes, others lessons. As he continued walking, his thoughts drifted back to the simplicity and excitement of those initial endeavors. There was a certain purity to the early days of investing, a stark contrast to the complexities of today's world. The thrill of turning a modest sum into something more had never lost its allure. A memory surfaced, bright and vivid. He was a young boy again in his family's neighborhood, his pockets jingling with coins as he sold chewing gum to neighbors. "You know," he would recount with a chuckle to anyone willing to listen, "I began my empire with a six-pack of gum." His eyes often twinkled with mischief as he added, "Bought it for a nickel, sold each piece for a penny, made a whole extra cent." It was this frugality, meaning thrift, that had been the cornerstone of his business acumen. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafted through the air, transporting Warren back to his grandfather's store. It was there he had learned invaluable lessons about integrity and hard work. The store had been a pivotal location in shaping his values. The smell of coffee, a constant companion during his youthful Saturdays, spent stacking shelves and observing the ebb and flow of customers. His grandfather had been a man of principle, imparting wisdom through stories and actions. Warren recalled one particular afternoon, sweeping the floor, as his grandfather explained the importance of honesty in every transaction. "A penny saved is a penny earned," his grandfather would say, a mantra that echoed through the years. Reflecting on his journey, Warren mused on the dichotomy, meaning contrast, between his frugal lifestyle and the immense wealth he had accrued. The simplicity of his habits often perplexed those around him, yet it was the very essence of his success. Rarely had he indulged in extravagance, choosing instead to focus on value and sustainability. Inversion for emphasis, auxiliary plus subject plus past participle. He had been reflecting on his past, those formative experiences that had crafted not just his career, but his character. Past perfect, continuous for background, ongoing past action before another. Through the lens of time, each decision seemed interconnected, a tapestry woven with intention and humility. As he reached the corner cafe, the clatter of cups and the hum of conversation invited him in. He ordered a simple black coffee, savoring the rich, robust flavor. Here, amidst the ordinary chatter, he found comfort in the familiar. Warren's mind, ever active, returned to thoughts of wealth versus simplicity. He pondered the balance he had maintained, a testament to the lessons learned in youth. His life was a testament to the notion that true wealth lay not in opulence, but in understanding and choice. As he sipped his coffee, Warren's gaze wandered to the bustling world outside the window. There was a subtle satisfaction in watching the city move, knowing he had played a part in its story. Yet beneath his calm exterior, a whisper of curiosity lingered about what lay ahead, about the next chapter in his enduring tale. The scent of freshly brewed coffee perfumed the air as Warren and Charlie settled into their usual booth at the quaint diner, meaning charmingly old-fashioned, nestled in the heart of Omaha. The establishment buzzed with a quiet vitality, its wooden panels gleaming under the modest morning light. Warren, easing into the cushioned seat, cast a glance at the familiar surroundings, a soft smile gracing his features. "This place never changes," he remarked, a note of comfort in his voice. Charlie chuckled, nodding in agreement. "Like us, old but reliable," he said, the corners of his eyes crinkling with mirth. They ordered their usual, a couple of black coffees and sandwiches, and soon the steaming mugs were placed before them. The aroma seemed to intensify their shared recollections, beckoning memories of ventures past. Their conversation soon drifted to a particular investment misstep, one that had initially seemed promising, yet ended in disappointment. "Remember that small tech startup?" Warren mused, stirring his coffee absent-mindedly. "We were so optimistic, convinced we were seeing the next big thing." Charlie leaned back, allowing a soft laugh to escape. "Ah, those were the days," he said. "Rarely had we faced such challenges before. Inversion for emphasis, auxiliary plus subject plus past participle." There was a warmth in his tone, a blend of nostalgia and the wisdom of experience. "We learned a lot from that one," Charlie continued, his voice turning more serious. "It's crucial to learn from errors, to adapt and evolve." His straightforward yet empathetic, meaning understanding others' feelings, words resonated deeply, underscoring their shared philosophy. Warren nodded, his demeanor thoughtful. "The financial markets today are a labyrinth, meaning complex structure, of intricacies," he said, his voice calm and insightful. If he were to decide without due diligence, one misstep could be costly. Subjunctive mood for hypothetical, using, were for hypothetical present. The ticking clock on the wall punctuated their discourse, a metronome marking the passage of valuable minutes. Time, they both understood, was a relentless companion in their line of work, underscoring the urgency of their deliberations. They shifted focus, discussing strategies essential for maintaining and cultivating investor trust. Humility and transparency surfaced as key principles, tenets they had upheld over decades. "Our investors deserve honesty," Warren asserted, his gaze steady. "They place their faith in us. We owe them nothing less." Charlie echoed the sentiment with a nod. "And it pays off in the long run," he added. "Trust is the foundation of everything we do." Their discussion gradually meandered toward the future, an avenue filled with optimism, despite the occasional detour into past stumbling blocks. Warren, ever the optimist, could not help but lighten the mood with a quip. "Well, if all else fails, at least we make a mean sandwich," he said with a grin, eliciting a hearty laugh from Charlie. The laughter was rejuvenating, a reminder of their resilience in the face of adversity. Warren's ability to maintain perspective, even in the most trying times, was a testament to his enduring spirit. It was this blend of humor and insight that had not only sealed their partnership, but also fueled their continued success. As they prepared to leave, Warren glanced at Charlie, a glint of resolve in his eyes. "Let's forge ahead, old friend," he said. "There's much to do and plenty of opportunities waiting." Charlie smiled, a twinkle of agreement in his eyes, as they stood up to depart. The diner, unchanged and ever welcoming, seemed to echo their sentiments, a silent witness to yet another chapter in their enduring saga. The air outside was crisp, filled with the promise of new beginnings, and as they stepped onto the bustling streets of Omaha, the path ahead, though fraught with challenges, seemed imbued with possibility. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled Warren's Omaha office, intertwining with the soft rhythm of ticking clocks. He sat behind his desk, eyes fixated on the glowing screen. The digital stock trends danced before him, each fluctuation a whisper of the bustling New York financial district, a world far removed, yet always near in his thoughts. As Warren sipped his coffee, the bitter warmth steadied him. He admired innovative startups on the brink of reshaping industries, their audacity, a reminder of his youthful ventures. The screens wove stories of ambition and risk, but amidst the frenzy, meaning madness, a voice of caution whispered. Charlie entered the room, his gait unhurried. carrying an air of both wit and gravity. "You know," he began, his voice cutting through the digital hum, "sometimes the market feels like an amusement park on the edge of chaos." There was a bluntness to Charlie's words, tempered by a twinkle of empathy in his eyes. Warren turned, a smile playing on his lips. "And yet here we are, spectators and players," he replied, inviting the exchange with his calm and insightful demeanor. Their discussion shifted to integrity, a cornerstone in a rapidly changing market. Charlie exhaled, leaning against the doorframe. "Impulsive decisions can derail even the best-laid plans," he warned with straightforward candor. Warren nodded thoughtfully. "True, but adapting is imperative, meaning essential. I've been thinking," he said, his voice steady yet introspective, "about how to mix tradition with innovation. Past perfect, continuous for background, ongoing thought process." There was a measured confidence in his words, a quiet acknowledgement of past doubts now serving as guideposts. The conversation meandered into the realm of investments, the dichotomy, meaning division, between frugality and the necessity of embracing new technologies. Warren's mind traced the line between prudence and progress. "It's a balancing act, isn't it?" he mused aloud, the question both rhetorical and genuine. Charlie chuckled, a sound rich with understanding. "Never have we faced such a challenge," he said, his eyes meeting Warren's. "Inversion after negative adverbials, auxiliary plus subject plus past participle. But our track record speaks for itself." Warren appreciated Charlie's faith, a reminder of the wisdom they had cultivated over decades. "We stay the course," Warren affirmed, his voice a blend of resolve and reflection. "Strategic thinking and perseverance. These are our allies." As their meeting wound down, the office began to quieten, the ticking clocks marking the day's end. Warren stood, gazing out the window at the city beyond. Omaha held a serene rhythm all its own, its muted hum a testament to constancy amidst change. "Until tomorrow," Charlie said, a farewell laced with camaraderie. He departed, leaving Warren to the solitude of his thoughts. As the evening deepened, Warren lingered in the stillness, contemplating the road ahead. The next chapter awaited, veiled in uncertainty, yet charged with promise. The muted hum of the city outside seemed to echo his resolve, a reminder that every day brought new opportunities to navigate, with wisdom as his compass. And, as the office lights dimmed, Warren knew that the journey, though demanding, was one he was destined to lead. The aroma of brewing coffee filled the air in Warren's office, mingling with the soft light filtering through the large windows. It was a typical morning, yet there was an asterisk enticing, meaning alluring, air of expectancy as a sealed envelope lay on his desk. It contained an offer that promised substantial returns, but also carried significant risk. Warren glanced at it, pondering its potential. He gathered his team around the polished oak table, the room's atmosphere punctuated by the steady ticking of clocks. They were his trusted circle, each member bringing a unique perspective. Warren valued their opinions, particularly on such pivotal decisions. "We have an opportunity here," he began, tapping the envelope gently, "but we must weigh the risks against the benefits." The team leaned in, ready to dissect the offer. The room buzzed with a mix of excitement and caution. "We should examine the numbers," one of them suggested, "and see if this aligns with our long-term goals." Warren nodded, though he couldn't shake a gnawing, meaning persistent, sense of unease. His intuition, honed over decades, tugged at him even as the cold, analytical data suggested a lucrative opportunity. It was a familiar dance between heart and mind. Charlie Munger, his business partner, broke the tension with his straightforward wit. "Warren," he said with a chuckle, "if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. But then again, you don't make billions by playing it safe all the time." His words were both a comfort and a challenge, questioning Warren's initial hesitation. The New York financial district, bustling and frenetic, contrasted sharply with the tranquil and deliberate pace of Omaha. This external chaos mirrored Warren's internal conflict. "Should we proceed recklessly," Warren said, pausing for effect, "we risk tarnishing not just our legacy but our principles." His words hung in the air, weighted with the wisdom of experience. The team deliberated, their consensus, meaning agreement, leaning towards caution. They spoke of wisdom and legacy, values Warren held dear, over the siren call of immediate gains. Warren listened, absorbing their insights. His calm voice filled with resolve, meaning determination, as he reached a decision. "We prioritize long-term legacy over the enticing promise of quick returns. Could he choose wrongly, the legacy might falter, conditional, auxiliary plus subject." A ripple of relief swept through the room at his resolve. In making his choice, Warren reaffirmed his dedication to strategic thinking and perseverance. These themes resonated with his audience, finance enthusiasts and aspiring investors alike, who sought not just financial gain but meaningful understanding. His decision, while fraught with uncertainty, was a testament to the principles that had guided him throughout his life. The subtle unease still lingered, a reminder of the stakes involved, but Warren felt a quiet confidence in the path they had chosen. As the team dispersed, Warren's gaze returned to the envelope, now a symbol of a challenge met with wisdom. The air in the room seemed lighter. His decision would not only influence the immediate future, but also echo through the years, ensuring the legacy he so cherished. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafted through the air as Warren Buffett stood in front of the eager audience gathered in a modest conference room in Omaha. The young investors sat with anticipation, their eyes reflecting a thirst for knowledge. Warren loved these moments. He relished the opportunity to share insights accumulated over decades. "Now, patience," Warren began, his voice resonating with a calm authority, "is an asterisk, indefatigable trait, meaning tireless, that every successful investor must cultivate." The word hung in the air, and he watched as the audience absorbed its meaning with quiet nods. The steady tick-tock of the wall clocks created an understated symphony, a gentle reminder of time's ceaseless march. It was fitting, Warren mused, as time was the very essence of investing. Each tick represented a moment of potential growth or opportunity lost. Charlie Munger, Warren's longtime business partner, sat nearby. His eyes twinkled with mischief as he interjected, "Of course, if you get too patient, you'll be older than me before you make a move." His remark prompted a ripple of laughter through the room. Easing the tension and lightening the atmosphere, Warren chuckled, appreciating Charlie's knack for keeping the mood buoyant. Turning back to the audience, he continued, "Long-term vision requires a pragmatism, meaning practicality, that balances dreams with reality." He paused, letting the weight of his words settle. The faces before him reflected varying degrees of comprehension, but all were attentive. It was in these moments, as Warren observed the crowd, that he felt the profound responsibility of his role. He was not merely sharing investment tips. He was shaping perspectives. The challenge lay in fostering a mindset as enduring as the market's ebbs and flows. "Consider this," he said, leaning into the podium. "Had I known how crucial it was to start early, perhaps my first investments would have been different. However, every step," he emphasized each word with a gentle nod, "taught a valuable lesson. Past perfect continuous, had plus past participle for background history." A young woman in the front row raised her hand. Her enthusiasm was palpable. "Mr. Buffett, how do you stay motivated when things don't go as planned?" "It's about asterisk tenacity, meaning persistence," Warren replied with a reassuring smile. "Even when the market is volatile, resilience will see you through. Remember, it's not the fall that defines you, but how you rise." Charlie added, "And if you happen to stumble, at least try to fall forward. That way, you're still making progress." More laughter followed, blending with the ticking clocks and the soft hum of conversation. As the seminar drew to a close, Warren gazed at the sea of faces once more. He sought to leave them with more than just strategies. He aimed to instill a quiet confidence and a sense of duty to themselves and their financial futures. Investing is not just about numbers, he concluded softly. It's about understanding value. That includes the value of time, effort, and the lessons hidden in every loss or gain. The room erupted into applause, the sound swelling as Warren and Charlie exchanged a knowing glance. Behind the applause lay an unspoken promise, a commitment to the values they had imparted. As the attendees filed out, Warren felt a familiar sense of accomplishment, tempered by the knowledge that not all would heed his advice. The real test, after all, lay in their ability to absorb and apply what they had learned. As the room emptied, the ticking clocks continued their relentless beat, a subtle reminder of time's unyielding passage. Warren and Charlie lingered, sharing a moment of quiet reflection. "Think they got it?" Charlie asked, breaking the silence with his usual candor. Warren smiled, a twinkle in his eye. "Only time will tell," he replied, knowing all too well the truth of his words. The future was theirs to shape, one tick at a time. Warren sat quietly in his office, the aroma of freshly brewing coffee permeating the air around him. The robust scent mixed with the rich, wooden undertones of the room, creating a space both welcoming and inspiring. In his hands, a pen moved steadily over the pages of a notebook, sketching out a plan for sustainable investing, meaning eco-friendly. The concept was not novel, yet its execution required creativity and precision. Sustainable investments promised a future where profits did not come at the planet's expense. The clock on the wall ticked with relentless precision, each sound a reminder of time's pressing nature. Despite the quiet, urgency filled the room, and when Warren spoke, his voice was calm and measured. "Time," he said, "is a crucial factor. We must consider its impact as much as the investment itself." Charlie listened on the other side of the desk, his attention unwavering. His demeanor was straightforward, yet a subtle empathy colored his words. "We could explore renewable technologies that align with our core values," he suggested. "Not only would it be profitable, but it also resonates with what we believe in." Warren nodded, appreciating the suggestion. They both knew that the enduring, meaning lasting, importance of adaptability was paramount in the ever-changing financial landscape. Markets shifted like sands in the wind, and only those willing to adapt would survive and thrive. Reflecting on the dichotomy, meaning division, of balancing tradition with modernity, Warren leaned back in his chair. His gaze drifted to the window, where the bustling street below hinted at the vibrant world they both had a hand in shaping. "It's a fine line," he mused aloud, "keeping the essence of what has always worked while embracing what will work tomorrow." Charlie, always one to see the bigger picture, replied, "Our strategy needs to honor our legacy of wisdom and integrity while still looking ahead." His words were a testament to their shared vision, one built on decades of partnership and mutual respect. Together, they crafted a future strategy. It was one that married their historical strengths with new opportunities. The plan would not only preserve their legacy, but also ensure they remained relevant in an increasingly complex market. Their agreement was silent but understood, a bond solidified through years of collaboration. Outside, the symphony of city life carried on, oblivious to the profound decisions being made above. Cars honked, people hustled, and the world continued its relentless pace. Yet, inside that office, Warren and Charlie shared a moment of silent understanding. The vision was clear, the path was set, and with that, a new chapter began. As they concluded their discussion, Warren glanced again at the clock. The ticking persisted, a rhythmic reminder of their resolve and the impact they would continue to make, a legacy in motion. Thanks for tuning in to the English Frequency Podcast. We're glad to be part of your English learning journey, from beginner to advanced. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe, share, and leave a review. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and see you in the next episode.